Okay, so you can see that my project is kind of this vintage, very floral color frame, but it also has rolled flowers on it. None of this is fabric, though. It is actually 100% gift wrap type of materials. The frame is actually pulled off gift wrap, and the flowers are tissue paper, and it's all kind of held together with one of my favorite things, Mod Podge. So let's rock on over to Craft Cam and show you how it all works. It's a ton of fun, I promise. We're gonna go to Craft Cam. Okay, so here's what the frame looks like. Blammo, kind of this cool vintage roughed up look. I like it a lot. It's a very easy technique for both the flowers and for the wrapping paper. I'll just go over the materials really quickly. This is the wrapping paper. This wrapping paper has a nice gloss to it, and I found that the glossier the paper, the better this technique works. You're going to need something like Mod Podge. Any white glue will work. I always use Mod Podge. And some tissue of varying colors. And basically get ready to get your hands dirty. Well, I wouldn't call it dirty. Get ready to get your hands gluey.
Crafty.
Crafty, because this one is really hands-on and fun and actually really good for the kids. You're also probably just going to need some extra paper that's green for your little leafies, and then a warm or hot glue gun, or just a quick drying glue because I'm impatient. I use a warm or hot glue gun so that you can get those on there pretty quickly. The premise of this whole entire thing is so easy. Just get yourself an unfinished frame or piece of wood, whatever you want to do. You can do this technique on whatever you want to do. And get yourself some white glue. Mod Podge is what I've tried out. I cannot speak to any other type of glue, but I'm sure that some other people in this room can speak to other types of glue. And you put a pretty good layer on here. And it's not like a super thick layer, but you do want to cover the entire thing. So I like to start off with my glue kind of being thick at the beginning so that it doesn't dry super quickly. And I'm just putting this on, and you really do want to cover the entire thing, especially the corners. If you want to get the sides, you can get the sides, but don't worry too much about it. Just really spread around here, and don't worry about it being like super even or anything like that. It doesn't have to be super even. You can see my little heart frame. I couldn't find a flower cutout shape for my frame, but I thought a heart would be kind of cute. And then it's just as easy as putting your wrapping paper design on top of this. And if you have a brayer, you can put the brayer on top of that, and then that will just smooth it out a little bit more. If you don't have a brayer, don't freak out. It's okay. Actually, having some lines in your paper is going to create kind of neat vintage little gaps, and then it's going to be really cool. So here's the design side. That's going to go flat onto what I just glued right there. And I'm just going to go over it with my hands and really get the sides and the corners of everything really nicely done. But it does have some raised spots in it. Like I said, that's just going to add the really nice, unique look of it once you pull off your paper. This may not work on all wrapping paper, so you might want to give it a shot on something smaller with your test wrapping paper, but so far so good with my wrapping paper, and I have a ton of wrapping paper. So it's good to just note that I've noted that the shinier the better. But the metallics, obviously, they're not going to work so well because they're not really attached to a paper or printed on there. They're just the metallic material. Sorry, I'm shaking the desk. Okay, so you can see I've really made an effort to just get this down there. You can see the shape of the frame and the outside of the frame here. And then set this off to the side. If you want, you can put something heavy on it like a book, and that will just kind of flatten that out. Now, while you're waiting for that to dry just a wee bit, you can make your flowers. And all you have to do is grab some tissue, get ready to get your hands a little bit dirty. I'm running out of Mod Podge. Look at that. I know, it's a shame. Get some tissue. I like about 4 inches of tissue, and I'm going to just sop out some Mod Podge and put it on my fingers here. Oh, look, I just pulled off. I am strong.
Oh, no.
I am so strong. Yeah, I just pulled off my little foam brush there. That's okay. And I'm just going to start wrinkling and twisting my paper around. This is the fun part for the kid. Just twist, twist, twist. It doesn't have to be, you know, soft in one spot, or it doesn't have to be, you know, completely glued all over the place. You just gotta twist her up. It's a bloomin' good time, I promise. Okay, so look, twisted. It's twisted. Oh, it's so twisted. And I'm going to attempt to sop up some more Mod Podge to put on my fingers. And then I'm just going to take one of my ends here and just start rolling in, just like a rolled rose goes. A rolled rose goes. I'm a poet and didn't know it. And just kind of taking the glue that I have on my fingers and rolling and rolling. And then that way, once it's dry, it's going to be really nice and stiff and waterproof for the most part. Once I get to the end where I have this kind of crazy little tail, I just tuck that on under. And then it will be this really cute little rose. Once it's done, I'll show you. For instance, this is one dry. Really cute. And you can cover that with any glimmer mist, which I don't have, or glitter Mod Podge, which I have, but I'm not going to put that on. Now, my hands are all messy, so I'm just going to give it a little towel action here so I can not ruin Cliff's new computer. And, and then I'll show you what the frame looks like when you tear it off after about 15 minutes. I like to wait about 15 minutes. So check it out. That's what the frame looks like with that cool pattern. Ooh, so I just ripped that off about, I think this one I left about 45 minutes. But you can see where, you know, there was not enough glue and it would come off. It just kind of looks vintagey and really cool. So it's a very easy way to dress up things. And I'll show you one that I did and I have yet to rip off, and I kind of wanted to show you the reveal. This is a red paper, you can see here. Ooh, here's the reveal. I actually let this one set overnight, so it's going to be on here a little bit more, I think. And the paper is a little bit different, so it's going to be on there a little bit more. And that's a testament to knowing that you should not leave it overnight. So, more than likely, this one shouldn't have been left overnight. So, that's okay though, because I did plenty of other ones. Stu's like, whatever. But you can see here, if I actually go through and then rip it off, it'll come off just fine. But I'm so impatient. I could even go in here and go in with some tape and actually rip that off too. But look, check it out what it looks like when I just rip off from about 2 minutes ago. Check it out. This is the heart one that I just put on. And it actually, this one is really nice when it comes off. Kind of a cool. So, lesson learned. Don't leave it overnight unless it's a thicker paper. This red one was kind of a thinner paper. The thicker papers work better. Look at that. And you can have a little heart that you can cut out. And then it all works out just like that. And then you grab your little flowers that you just created, blop them on, like so, and have a good old time with that. So it's just that easy. And like I said, with some little leafies, you're gonna have yourself a really good old time. Like that. I love learning new things live. I love keeping it fresh. Okay, so there's a fun new technique. Very easy craft to do. We have about 2 minutes left. Let's go right on over to prize time. It's going to be a ton of